children, welcome to another class of science where we will learn about the birds, its feathers, beak and claws. We will also know that how a bird flies. Birds are flying animals. They are most beautiful animals on the earth. The birds are often of bright colors. There are many kinds of birds. Now, as you have known, children, that there are many kinds of birds in this world. So they are of different colors, they have different features, and they have different adaptation habits. So here we will see what kind of birds are these and how many types of birds are there. Some may be flightless and some can fly high. So we will now study about the different kinds of birds and how do they fly. Now complete the name of body parts of the given picture. So here we have a picture of a bird and we have to name all the parts. Now let's start with the naming. Now the first here we have EYE, then HEAD, head, then NOSTRIL, nostril, NECK, neck, WINGS, wings, TAIL, tail, FEATHER, feather, LEG, leg, and CLAWS, claws. So these are different parts of a bird. So they are different parts of bodies, parts of the body of a bird. Now we'll study the body structure of a bird. So how is the body of a bird made? So it is a different creation of God. So all birds have streamlined bodies. They have head, wings, tails and legs. They have feathers all over the body. The bird's head has a beak with no teeth. The bones of birds are hollow and light. So children, we can know that a bird has a streamlined body. So this streamlined body helps it to fly properly. So they have a head, wings, tails and legs. They have feathers on all over their body. So there you must have seen all the birds having feather all over their body, and the bird's head has a beak with no teeth. So it also has a beak and it has no teeth in it. The bones of birds are hollow and light. Hollow means they are blank in between, that it is not filled with any kind of material. So they are hollow. You must have seen a bamboo stick, it is hollow from inside. So the bird's bones are also hollow, and that is why they are light weighted, and this is why they can fly high. Birds use their beak and claws to hold and eat their food. So they have their beaks and claws to hold and eat their food. Now let's see how does a bird fly. Birds have wings to fly in the air. Their streamlined bodies help them to cut through the air. They have a very light body made up of hollow bones and thin plates. So the birds have wings. The first and foremost thing that they have is the wings, which helps them to fly. Secondly, they have a streamlined body which helps them to cut through the air. So they have to just like a fish that swims in water. It cuts the water back and it moves forward. So in the same way, birds have wings which cut the air and they move forward. They have a very light body made up of hollow bones and thin plates. So as you have learnt that their body has bones which are very hollow. which are hollow from inside. That is, they have nothing, and that is why their bones are light in weight, and it helps them to fly up. The body has a strong framework of bones. Hollow bones help them float in air. So, since their bones are hollow, and this helps them to float in the air. Feathers attached with the wings help them catch the air that keeps them in flight. So, feathers help them to catch the air, and this helps them uh, in flight. So, while they are flying, their wings just push the air back and they move forward. The tail feathers help the bird to change its direction through during flight. So if they have to change their direction, they just move their tail in the opposite direction, and they uh, turn their direction. The wings are attached to the chest or breastbone by strong flight muscles. So the wings that you can see on the bird, they are attached to their bone by strong flight muscles. So their muscles help them to fly. These muscles help to move the wings downward and upward. So that is why when you see the bird blowing its wings up and down, so these muscles help their wings to move up and down, forward and backward. Now we'll see the feathers. Feathers are light and fluffy. So you must have seen somewhere that birds also uh, their feathers fall down, and we generally catch and collect different colors of feathers. So their feathers you must have seen, and you must have felt it, that they are very light and they are very soft in touch. Each feather has a thin, long, hollow shaft which is filled with air. It makes the feather light. So the center is filled with air only. It is very hollow from inside, and this shaft is filled with air. It makes the feather very light. The birds uh, shed their feathers at least shed their feathers at least once in a year and grow new ones. So every year they shed their feathers, and a new one grows in place of it. There are three kinds of feathers in a bird. So these feathers are also categorized under three heads. First, we have the down feathers. These are small feathers which cover the body of the bird. They keep the body warm. So down feathers are the feathers which keep their body warm. Then flight feathers. The feathers on the wings of a bird are called flight feathers. So the feathers that are on their wings, they are called the flight feathers, and they help the bird to fly. Then there is the tail feather. So at the tail end there are feathers stuck to it. So tail feathers help the bird to change its direction during flight. So these are the three different kinds of feathers which help the bird to fly and change directions. Now there are some flightless birds also. Now can see some pictures of penguin, ostrich and kiwi. These are the birds which cannot fly. Some birds like penguin, kiwi and ostrich are flightless birds. They Though they have wings and feathers, yet they cannot fly because their bones are not hollow and their flight muscles are not strong enough to flap the wings. So, since normal birds have very hollow bones and they have the flight feathers which help them cut through the air, but these flightless birds do not have the hollow bones, and their flight muscles are not that strong enough to flap the wings. That is why they cannot fly. So they move on land and with the help of their legs. So their legs are strong enough to help them move on land. Then we have the aquatic birds. Aquatic means the birds that live in water. Ducks, geese, pelicans, cranes, etc. are some aquatic birds. Their feathers have oil glands. So the feathers of these birds, that is the ducks, geese, pelicans, cranes, their feathers are have oil glands, and these glands produce oil which does not let the feathers get wet or spoilt by water. So that is why when the ducks they swim in water, and they should get wet, but their oily glands which secrete oil from their in their feathers, that help them to keep the bird dry. They have webbed feet with the help of which they swim in water. So their webbed feet helps them to swim in water. Now different kinds of beak of the birds. So here we can see that different birds have different kind of beaks. So birds need food to live. However, they have no teeth. They use their beak to hold and eat their food. They also use their beak to protect themselves from enemies. So when you eat food, you use your hand and teeth. So since birds have need food to live also, they don't have teeth, neither do they have their hands. So their beaks help them to hold the food and eat them. They also use their beak to protect themselves from enemies. So some of the birds have such heavy beaks that when they find their enemies coming towards them, these beaks help them to protect themselves. The beak of the birds are shaped and designed in such a way that they can eat the food of their liking. So this is how birds beak helps them to eat the food and keep themselves safe from enemies. So children, this is all for today, and we'll learn more about the beaks in our next session. Till then, have a nice day.